Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ICP Internet Computer Price Chart because literally it's doing magic. You can see on my right hand side pretty much everything is in red, and not only slightly red but in double digits. But for one reason or the other, ICP Internet Computer Protocol is up as high as 28-30%. At some point it was even up as high as like 40%. We're also seeing massive amounts of volumes being traded here on ICP that we haven't seen in like 2-3 years. And you can see right here we are up 40% or 50% in the last 24 hours, but with the trading volume as high as almost $700 million. Still very small compared to other things, but really this has not been seen on ICP in a very long time. Now with all these things happening, pumping right against the market, and also with big volumes breaking resistances, as you can see the last one that we were talking about right around $4 here, the question for ICP becomes, well, is this thing going to be sustainable? Can we now start saying that we have turned the bearish page here and we're looking to push higher with the ICP price set? So I'll be talking about all those things in today's video. But before we start, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video just by delicately tapping the like button. It will tell the YouTube algorithm that yes, this information is very much relevant and the video will be shown to as many people as possible. Let's quickly jump right into it. As we can see that on a daily time frame, I said this before, that ICP was holding the $2.80 mark and not closing any daily candles below that. And of course, it turned out to be a very good support. We're also seeing the same thing on the RSI right there, that okay, historically speaking, this is also where you would be supported. Now, I think here for me, I still have got major concerns on the ICP price. Yeah, the picture is looking great. We can see, for example, that the open interest or funding rates are still very much negative, meaning ICP can even run further ahead. But there are still some things that I want to see the price do before we can, start getting euphoric and all that stuff. Now, one level that I'm really looking forward to is what happens when we get to like around the $6.50 mark or $6.60, because there is an obvious level of resistance, and you can see it stretches all the way up to something like $7.30. These are obviously wide ranges, but the point here is that this is an area of potential resistance for the ICP Internet Computer price. It was of course never going to be an easy process for ICP to recover in any way because of the general market conditions that we have. Things are not looking all that great for everything else. I mean, ICP is really one of those ones which are showing like exceptions, but even that with ICP, the point is that we are still on our path to recovery, and there is nothing decisive yet on the price. We've got massive resistances right around $6.50 all the way up to something like $7.20 something before this whole thing can start to give us much more confidence to say, okay, look, we're probably going for that $15. We're going to be going for that high at $21, and maybe, just maybe, even those $50 and $100+ here for ICP. We still have got a very long journey. But immediate short term, I think here what we don't want to see is ICP coming down here and losing this whole thing, then heading all the way back towards the downside. Now we don't want to be seeing something like that. So we could also say that immediate short term, there is a good support right around like $4.40 all the way down to something like $4 itself. So are we looking at this level as well? We've got two levels of interest if you're paying attention, that this level here, if the price pulls back, should be able to hold and maybe do a few things right there before we test the resistance one more time. On the flip side, if we happen to continue with the price, which is likely at this point, because just as I showed you with all those open interests, they're still very much in the negative, which means there still will be much more appetite to long ICP and all that stuff. We'll also be looking to see, if the price goes ahead and breaks this whole thing at some point, maybe back test it and show that clearly we are, in an uptrend here for ICP Internet Computer Protocol. So these things are still a little bit far away, but this is what I'll be monitoring. Before, we were in this range where we had $2.80 and then we also had $4. Now that is broken. We're going to be looking for the next one and try to see if ICP pulls all the way towards the upside. Once again, I don't want to say things are certain or anything like that. I am very much, of course, cautiously being optimistic. I want to see ICP really go high, but we also have seen time and again that it's not all that straightforward. One other thing that I'm looking at here is the Bitcoin and ICP price chart, which is a very clear downtrend. And I was looking at the RSIs here, trying to figure out, whether we are looking bullish or not. And on a weekly time frame, there is a resistance right where the price is sitting right now, around the 50 mark. So let's see what kind of reaction we get from here if we blast out of this whole thing. I mean, it's all clear skies, and we could see ICP do some kind of rally that it was doing back in 2023 towards that end of the year, and it was really a fantastic one. So we need to see that RSI being broken above the 50 mark. But when we also look on the daily time frame, it appears that we're just getting our strides into that overbought territory. This doesn't necessarily mean that you get rejected immediately, but you can still push a little bit high, just as you are seeing here. And it's in these moments that the price really goes bananas. So when all things have been considered, ICP basically has gotten into a new range, which has got a resistance starting right around $6.50, I would say, all the way to $7.28. And then, of course, we've got a support level, which goes as low as $4. This is where the bulls and the bears are going to be fighting, in my humble opinion, and we'll see who wins there. I mean, hopefully we're going to be breaking out there because we are staunch ICP holders, right? I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you could, please dedicatedly tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and then I'll see you on the next one. Take good care of yourselves.